Hi, I'm Chuck Quinton, founder of RotarySwing.com. Today we're going to talk about how to hit one of the funnest shots in golf, and that's hitting the low spinning checking chip shot or pitch shot rather than just kind of the basic stock chip shot, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But at first I want to show you how this, you see the tour pros do this all the time. They hit the ball and it only goes maybe 15 feet, but then it lands and stops really quick, and you all wonder how they do that. And I see amateurs trying to practice out all the time, playing the ball way off their back foot and then chomping down on it and wondering why the ball doesn't have any spin on it and it launches off across the green. The trick is you got to learn how to use the bounce. The bounce of the wedge is this trailing edge that hangs beneath the leading edge of the club, and what the bounce does is allow you to get the club to work under the ball without the club digging into the grass, so you don't lay the sod over it. And as you're doing that, it allows you to increase the loft dynamically through the strike. It sounds kind of crazy, right? But it's what's happening. So as the ball is working, or the club, excuse me, is working under the ball, the club face is opening and adding loft. Not opening, it's just adding loft here. So as I come through, what I'm doing here is I'm going to teach you how to practice this to get the club. You'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm just barely brushing the grass, but I'm allowing the club to release so that the bounce of the club is the only thing striking the turf. The trick to doing this is getting your right arm to swing, kind of like a grandfather clock, like a pendulum, and allowing your right wrist to do the one thing you typically never want to do in your regular golf swing, and that is to release under the ball. Most amateurs are already really good at this. You don't want to do that with a normal golf shot, but when you're learning how to get the club to release under the ball, this is a good thing for a pitch shot because it's going to allow the club face, instead of striking the ball and launching it, it's going to allow the ball to slowly ride up the face, which is going to allow the club to slip under, increasing loft and spin while taking some of the speed out of the shot. That's how you hit a short shot with a lot of spin. So let's take a look at this. So just practicing back and forth. You do this. You can do it anywhere on the practice green, or fairway, tee box like we are here, and allow the right wrist to hinge and then unhinge. And that ball went 5 feet and then stopped stone dead. And that's all. I didn't have any speed on it. I'm just allowing the wrist to release under, and you'll see as I'm doing this, so I'll do it back at you, as I'm practicing, I'm allowing the club, the butt of the club, to hit me in the form, and this is allowing, you'll now notice I could hold a glass of wine on my club face. I've increased the loft. Now you're not doing this by actively flipping it, mind you, this is important distinction to make. Your wrist is pretty soft, actually it's really soft, you're just allowing the club to work under the ball. You're not trying to force it to slip under the club or under the ball. So set it back, nice and smooth. Again, the ball goes out, comes out really low because it's not launching off the face. It's essentially, as you strike the ball, instead of getting it to do this, it's kind of doing this and working up the face. So then as you get comfortable with it, now you're going to practice your right hand. You're going to put both hands back on it, but you're going to feel the same thing. It's just going to change a little bit as you put your left hand back on there. So same thing. And as I allow this left wrist to break down, that allows me to add loft dynamically through the hitting area. Now, this is for those fun little checkers. You can hit them maybe 30, 40 yards. Once you get past that, you got to go back to a more kind of a normal stock chip shot. And so that's what I want to focus on next. If you struggle with that, once you get comfortable with adding this to your arsenal of shots around the green, you want to learn the basic chip shot, where you're keeping the club face from releasing, keeping a little bit more control because you're not trying to create so much spin, you're trying to get the ball to release properly. So click the link in the description or you see on the screen now to learn the basics of the basic chip shot.